Good morning. At least it's morning still here. Anyway, back in 2020, 2021, during everything about what was going on then, and the jab and the cough and you would see the certain social medias just clamp down on things if you made a decision. Back then, one of the things was on ivermectin. That it didn't do any good. And it's been proven that it actually did some good. Matter of fact, Sarah Huckabee, as governor of Arkansas, recently basically made it where soon in Arkansas you can get it over the counter. You don't have to have anything special. And they were so afraid of it. I don't know if Big Pharma or who, but they passed laws where before you get these medications for your animals, goats, horses, and cows and stuff, just over the counter. I mean, go down to Tractor Supply and there it was. But when people started using it to deal with this, the self-medicating thing became an issue. And oh man, we got to stop this. Even though I don't believe there was one reported death of anybody using a drug and medication that had been around for many years. I talked to one farmer and he said they don't even have to ingest it. All they do is just put it on the back of a cow and rub it in, or just put the paste there. And that's how he applied it. And, sometimes they'd rub it in with their hands, which of course they would absorb it. And so there's really to my knowledge and talking to people and what I've seen on the internet, which we know how that is sometimes, is not really any evidence of some things going on. And but one of the main things was, supposedly in America, one of our rights is freedom of speech. But here you have these companies, large companies, who run the airways of information in the networks and on the internet, and they don't believe in that, whether they're controlled by the government, CIA, or whatever is influencing them, or just the fact that they want to push an agenda or a belief that a lot of America doesn't go on. And so you could actually see how many problems. I mean, you'd end up in your jail all the time, or they'd shut you down and, you lose views or make sure you didn't get no views. And so here it is, 2025. And I made a video Sunday, and when I walked out, I watched this video. It went to about 1,600 hits in just a few minutes, about 22 minutes. All of a sudden it stopped. I mean, it was, just the brakes were put on, and I watched it remove 100 views. And a little while later, I looked and it removed 300 views. So instead of being at 1,600, it went down to 1,100. And you could watch the numbers go backwards. I showed it to my kids and my wife. And then Sunday, had another video. And at the time, I was just shy of going over, almost hitting 225,000 views. And so I thought, I was looking at that, okay, it's kind of a little goal to be at that number. And all of a sudden, a few minutes later, I look, it wasn't at 9 anymore, it was at 8. And then a little while later, I looked at that number and it was no longer there, it was at 7. And so anyway, I thought, sometimes the dumbest videos get the most hits, not the long ones. Like, this is a long video and it doesn't get very many views. But so what happened is I did another one. And it shot way up there really fast in a short time. But all of a sudden, once again, views were removed. So it went from about 1,600 all the way down to 1,100. And pretty much it did go up to about 13, but it's pretty much just stopped. So these companies, maybe they have their rights. I don't know. I have mine too, though. And I really don't think a whole lot of them, and I don't think they're very American. And I hope in the future that Mr. Trump, when he becomes more aware of these companies, that They reach a new level of taxes is what they need to do. And sort of like what he's doing to some of the colleges and the other things of either, taking away government money, which should be done because some of these organizations, like colleges, they've got these semi-pro football teams, college teams making millions of dollars. Why are these colleges getting anything? Why don't they use that football money to cover people's tuitions and fees? And why don't they use it? I mean, is this a nonprofit organization or is this a profit organization? I mean, football, just like the March Madness with basketball. I mean, it's millions and millions of dollars are there. Why isn't it being used for students or to help people become doctors and get through school? Why? Where's this money being pissed off to? I don't know. But here it is, 2025, and I do not have freedom of speech. And they'll probably shut this one down. And it might not get seen too much. And you know what? I don't give a crap. They can do what they want, because they do what they want. And I'm just doing it to be doing, or for fun, or to giggles, or whatever, just to get the word out there, and I do believe in spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, and that people definitely need to be saved, especially in some of the things that are coming. And I don't mind. Shut me down. Go for it. And I'll go to another media. But the good thing is I can't do a thing to you, but I can sure pray against you. I can pray that you, like Goliath, will be dropped to your knees. And I look forward to the day. One time, Kmart was a powerhouse. And now we have Walmart. It's a powerhouse. We had Amazon for years, and Temu is starting to catch up and gain ground. Giants are only giants for so long. And then a lot of times other companies take over and take them down. Changing times. Times change, businesses change, giants fall. Even in David's day, giants fell, and today, giants will fall. And a lot of times it's all the king's men, and we put things back together again. It's kind of funny. It's your very customer base and the people you try to control or reject are actually what's keeping you alive. And I find it fascinating that some of these companies really don't care about their customer base, and all of a sudden they'll come out and this is what we believe and what we're going to do. It's just Harley Davidson just took a crash because somebody thought, oh yeah, we're God now. We're so powerful. We're so above you people. But we, the people, are actually the ones that put you where you're at. You didn't. You're just a company. You managed to organize it. You managed to build it. But you still need the people, even though it's kind of funny as we want to kind of decrease all those breathing humans in the earth with your agendas. We're what keeps you alive. We're what makes, we buy your products. We go online. We shop. And as soon as people realize that you can crush companies by not spending your money there, take it to some other place. Know what a company's politics. Know what a business, whether it's Target, which I do not walk into, refuse to. And, some companies, you don't have a choice. It might be the only thing you got going around. But things are going south. It's like some of the Dollar Generals are actually closing in areas. I know you have different reasons. But when I talked to some of the people in charge, one of the things they said is because of theft. There's so much stealing. It's not viable to keep the company open. Congratulations, America. Some of you areas, and you think you're the victim, but you're actually the villain, and you screwed yourself to take out one of the main businesses you have in a town or an area or a provision because you justify your stealing. It's my right. I need it. I want it. And yet these businesses survive on making a profit. And so now you don't have a grocery store. You don't have a Dollar General, maybe a Dollar Tree, because you robbed them blind. Congrats, especially California. Good job. Ooh, good job. Goodbye, Walgreens. So we need to learn our lessons. And it's going to get more challenging ahead. So if you do watch this video, mess with my buddy. You know, you can recognize him. His name's Al, middle name Gore, last name Rhythm. So if you like him, subscribe, you mess with him. And if you don't, I'm sure there will be a day that I'll just say bye-bye. But anyway, thank you. Bye.